Hey, what's up YouTube? This video is on built-in RV phone charging outlets and changing them because, well, the manufacturer uses the cheapest parts they can find and they burn out after a couple years. So my particular RV has 7 of these all over it. 2 here in the master bedroom, right by the bed. There's 2 in the living room, and then there's 1 on each bunk bed. So the problem with these is they worked great, and we noticed the last 2 times we went out, the chargers pretty much quit charging our phones. They would put out the full 2.4 amps, which is pretty standard for a phone charger, so it charges our phone whenever it's completely dead in almost 2 hours. And then the time before we went camping, it took about 4 hours to charge our phone. And then this last time we went camping, it actually showed a message on the phone saying check the charger cable, which we know there's nothing wrong with it. And it literally, to charge my dead phone, took almost 11 hours. So what I got here is I got my tester, and I'm going to show you guys how this thing reacts under a load. So right now we're not pulling any amps. Alright, we're going to start to increase the load. Now for a charger, you want it to stay as close to 5 volts as you can. And you can see we're at a 0.5 amp here. We've already dropped about 0.3 volts, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when you're dealing with voltages as small as 5 volts. Let's go ahead and crank it up to an amp. Now this is very, very low. 1 amp is nothing for a phone charger. It's like a trickle charger. It takes forever. But this is about as much as it's capable of putting out now. Let's go ahead and crank it up to what it should be, the 2.4. And look, you see we're not even able to get up to 4 volts anymore. So this isn't doing anything. Go ahead and crank it up to the point of failure at this point. It's just reacting slow. I mean, you can see, 3.2 amps. Now for a good speed charger, well, we couldn't even get up to 4 amps. Okay, so we weren't even able to get up to 4 amps worth of charging. Alright, so what's the solution, you say? What are you going to do about it? Well, you can either go take your RV back to your dealer and they charge you $200 an hour to change out all your charger plugs, or you can go on Amazon and buy them yourself. These little units right here, I think they were about 11 bucks a piece, and these things are pretty nice. They're all quick charge compatible, and it has the USB-C in the middle, and this will enable actually supercharge mode. So these 3 plugs right here are capable of all delivering very adequate charge current at the same time. If I wanted to, I could have a device plugged in here, here, and here at the same time, and it would be able to supply very adequate amperage. And I've actually tested these out on my tester, and the USB-C had no problem delivering 4 amps of output current, and then I plugged in the regular USB and it had no problem putting out 2.4 amps of current. I didn't have nothing else to plug in here, but I didn't have any voltage loss or anything, so I feel pretty confident that plugging in another device isn't going to harm it. I mean, I couldn't even plug 1 device into this, so this one doing 2 simultaneously was way ahead of the game. You know, if this helps you any, this is what I got off Amazon. So we're gonna go ahead and change this thing out, and I'll bring you along. We'll see how easy it is. All right, guys. So I just pulled the 2 screws out, and as you can see, I was kind of hoping that I could get a look inside this unit to see kind of what's going on, but it's a sealed unit. I mean, obviously we can open it, but it's going to be destructive to do so. So I tried to pull out some slack. Now in my case in particular, this I can't get any. I don't want to risk breaking these wires. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip them off one at a time right here as close as I can to give me some extra wire to work with. I'm going to do the positive first, then I'm going to do the negative second. Now, these guys right here, these replacements, are nice because as you can see, you know, I don't know at the factory, you know, apparently they can't afford a proper hole saw. So it looks like somebody like a beaver started chewing and they made this hole here. So the nice thing about these is it's a flat back. So all I have to do is get these wires in here, and it's going to cover up, well, it'll help if I have it the right side up, wouldn't it? But it's going to cover up that hole quite nicely. And I'm not going to have to worry about making any bigger holes or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get this done, and we'll show you what it looks like. Alright, we got the red wire done. Now let's do the black one. Alright, we got the black one done. Let's get it mounted in the wall. And the reason why I did it this way is because I didn't want to cut both wires at the same time and risk a short blowing my fuse. You know, I could have just shut the battery off to the RV and, you know, it would have been fine that way, but then it would have killed all my lighting, so I just did it this way. And there we go, guys, just like that. We have a new phone charger installed. And the thing I like about these is it stays off unless you activate it. There you go. So let's do a quick demonstration of how much better this one charges. Alright, as we can see here, got it hooked up with the regular USB into my tester. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Got our voltage. Let's go ahead and load it up. Now if you remember before, with the old one, we couldn't get much past 1 amp and it was falling off pretty bad. So there we go. We're doing pretty good here. So this is definitely adequate enough to do a standard charge on your phone, and that's what I didn't have before. But let's do a little bit something else. Go ahead and turn this back down. Alright, I want to show you what a difference charging with strictly USB-C makes. I don't really understand why there's so much power loss with this connector. There's a large inability for current to flow through that. So let's charge with a USB-C to USB-C. Alright, as you can see, we're USB-C to USB-C. We've even got 0.1 volts more. Seems like the current flow is a lot better through USB-C. So let's go ahead and load it up again. Alright, we're at 2.4 amps again. You can see though that we're hovering higher on the voltage. 4.9, almost 5. Let's go ahead and load it up to a full 4 amps. Look at there, 4 amp draw. We're still at 4.8 volts. Definitely beats the pants off of what came factory stock in the RV. But as you can see, it says that it should be able to output 2.4 amps. But also notice it says total. So that's both plugs combined total. This one will deliver me 4 amps from USB-C and deliver 2.4 amps, through that socket and that socket. You can have all 3 of those sockets loaded up at the same time, and it'll adequately support all of that. But that's just it. I wanted to make this short little video. You know, from what I can see, most RVs come with this style USB charger. These things are junk. They're going to last you a little while, then they're going to fail, and they're not going to work. So as you can see, you know, it's a very nice install. It's got this little trim ring that covers up the screws, so you don't even see the screws. And I think it's pretty nice. If it's not in use, you just turn it off. You can even cover it up, keep dust and stuff out. So there you go. If your USB or RV USB phone charging outlets aren't working anymore, go on Amazon, order you some replacements. I think these, like I said, I think it was like 11 bucks, I want to say, but that was for a 2-pack. So I had 7 outlets in mine, but this is, you know, what it comes in here. This is a 2-pack, and you can change them out yourself. You don't need to charge or have RV place charge you 200 bucks an hour. Only thing you need is some of these small wire nuts that are made for 20 gauge wire. Home Depot wire nuts are fine for this application because this is an indoor application. This is low voltage. It's 12 volts. It's not exposed to the elements, not exposed to moisture. So there's nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Hope it helps.